Next question, it says, if you could relive one year of your life, which year would it be and what would you do differently? I would probably say, and I'm sure many people would agree with me on this, I feel like 2016 was, and once again, this is, I've heard different people talk about this, 2016 seems to be the best year of everybody's life. Like, I've never met one person who was alive in 2016 and they didn't have a good time that year. I mean, obviously, there's always good and bad, but it seems like 2016 was a relatively good year for the world, besides, Trump getting elected. But anyway, so 2016, that was a great year for me. I had turned 21. I bought my first car. I had my first high-paying job. And life was just generally good. I mean, with the girls and, like I said, the money. And that was the first year that, I'm not gonna say the first year, but I was heavily involved with the music. That year I started taking it more serious that year. It was a lot, in 2016 that happened that I would love to relive. As far as what would I do differently? The only thing I could say I probably would do differently that year. That was the year. Yeah, that was the year I got scammed. So let me explain the story. So once again, that was the year I bought my first car. But what I was doing, right? I had got my first high-paying job. I was making good money that year, and the job I had, I needed more reliable transportation to get there. So I was saving money up to get a car, right? So at the time, I was looking at getting a 2008 Chevy Impala, because I loved Impalas. One of my favorite groups growing up was NWA, so 6'4" Impala. I just wanted an Impala. But anyway, so the car cost about $2,000. Now at the time, I had just about $2,000 saved up. That was all the money I had in the world. And I was at work one day, and I got this phone call, and it was this Chinese lady, Chinese man. Anyway, they were saying that I was eligible for a federal grant of $10,000. All I needed to do was send them $250, right? So this was the scam. So I'm like, $10,000? Like, this is more money than I ever touched in my life, at the time. So I'm like, oh yeah, I bet. So like I said, I was at work. So I left work early. I was like, yo, I'm finna go to the bank real quick, take out this money. I hit Western Union up. So the whole time I'm on the phone with this guy, and he's telling me all the details to fill out for the Western Union form. So I'm filling everything out, and I'm hyped up trying to get this money, right? So I get up to the Western Union teller lady, and she's reading the form I filled out, and she sees all this Chinese, names, Chinese addresses, and she's like, do you know this person? They have to ask that because obviously there's a lot of fraud being committed with Western Union. And so she's like, yeah, do you know this person? I'm like, oh yeah, that's the homie. You know what I'm saying? So she's like, okay. So she goes to, process it and everything. And once she processes it, the guy has me on hold. I guess he goes to verify that they received the money. So he's like, okay, yeah, we got the funds. I'm excited. I'm like, okay, yeah. So when I'm getting this money? So he was like, no worries, we're almost done. Now, all you have to do is send us $750 for some kind of government tax or something like that. Now, at the time, I'm like, okay, I'm getting 10,000 back, what's 750, right? You know what I mean? So I go back to the bank, I take out more money. Oh, now that I'm remembering it wrong. So I didn't have 2,000 saved up. I only had 1,000 saved up. So now, at this point, this guy is asking me for all the money I have, in the world except for my credit cards. So I go to the bank. I take out $750 more. So I come back to Western Union, fill the form out, get back to the window. Now, by this time, it's a different girl. But when I give the girl the form, she didn't ask me if I know this person. She just, took the form. So as I'm filling the form out, though, I got the guy on the phone. I say, yo, if I fill this out, are you sure? If I fill this out, are you sure I'm going to get the money? He was like, yeah, this is the last step. This is all we need. I said, okay, cool. So I get a girl the form. She processes it. The guy got me on hold to verify the payment. He comes back. So he says, okay, we're almost done. Now all we need is $1,000. I'm like, nah, hold on, bro, nah. See, you told me, I say, did you know about this $1,000 tax? And now he quiet on the phone. Now he's like, no, I didn't know. It's just, now I'm like, nah, bro, like this all the money I had in the world I done sent to y'all, and now you telling me I need more. And I'm looking at it now, like it's a scam, definitely. But I was like how, imagine if I did have, thousands of dollars to just blow. Like, how far would they have went with the scam before they, broke the act? You know what I mean? So it was a whole big old thing. I ended up having to, I gave these people my social. I gave them, all the personal information, but they asked me for my bank account information, right? I didn't give it to them, but I was like looking back on it, I'm like, why was I so comfortable with giving them my social, but not my bank account information? You know what I mean? So it was a whole big old thing. I ended up having to get LifeLock just to make sure they didn't do anything with my social. So it was a whole big old thing, but I ended up having to, so like I said, I had a credit card. I had one credit card at the time, and I had about $1,000 on it. And I ended up, because I still needed a car, I ended up using that money to put a down payment on a brand new car. It was a 2016 Toyota Camry. One of my, like I said, it's my first car, one of the best cars I had. But yeah, luckily I had that, because otherwise I would have been ass out, you know what I mean? So, but yeah, 2016 was a great year besides that whole episode. And that's probably, that is the year that I would want to relive. And like I said, the only thing I would do differently there is not take that phone call from them Chinese folks, and if y'all out there listening to this, fuck you. So yeah,